About the people who are not a part of anybody's elite, who are hurting tonight.
Van Jones shared an emotional message on CNN late Tuesday night when Donald Trump was on the verge of defeating Kamala Harris and regaining the presidency. The cable news commentator described Trump returning to power as a nightmare and showed particular empathy for black women who supported Harris, along with trans youth and immigrants.
There are African American women who know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months. And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt.
He continued, and they were hoping that maybe this time one of their own could be seen as worthy. And once again, they're facing rejection, and that hurts. Jones went on to say that black women who supported Harris are not the only ones hurting.
If you're a parent of a trans kid, your child's face was used as a springboard to power for somebody. That doesn't feel good.
Jones also spoke about immigrants, saying in part, there are going to be people who are going to be cleaning your teeth tomorrow who don't have papers, and they are terrified tonight.
And so it's easy to blow this off. Oh, look at the elites. They're going to get their comeuppance. It's not the elite that's going to pay the price. It's people who woke up this morning with a dream and are going to bed with a nightmare.
What a Debbie Downer. God damn. And going to bed with a nightmare because Kamala Harris lost. Kamala Harris is not somebody who we saw coming. They dropped this woman in our lap 2 months ago. That ain't how it go. And they learned the hard way. That ain't how it go. They pulled out all the stops. They did some shit that they're going to have to live down. And a lot of black people are still crying and whining and acting like Donald Trump is about to return them to slavery. He ain't. You're not going back to slavery. That shit ain't going to happen. Quit clinging to the Democrats, and they're the ones that are harming you. Don't start clinging to the Republicans either. Cling to your damn self. Use your fucking head. You have to be out of your mind if you really believe that the Democrats have your best interest at heart. You have your best interest at heart. Kamala's speech at the end, you believed it. I didn't hear her mention in 2025 and giving you guys, she on the inside. She get a defense briefing every morning. I mean, fuck it. She should have been like whatever she could say in an unclassified way. Hey, you guys, watch your backs, or 2025 or whatever the fuck she says is going to happen to us. But the election is over. Trump won. She shut the fuck up because all that shit wasn't true. But had she won, every time we talked about her or knocked her down in any way or criticized her, she would have been saying, this is what you voted for. This is what you voted for. You better be glad you got a democracy. Because if he would have won, you know what I'm saying? We'd be sitting there thinking, oh, hell nah. You a hell no. And that's what this Van Jones, he up here talking about how black women had their dreams, snubbed out. But, that's one thing that we need to get straight right now. Black men had a lot of shit talked about them. For not, Obama come down talking shit about black men and talking to some black men who didn't get up and straighten them out about not supporting the black man. Do you guys know what the black man finally came around as? I think like in the mid 70s, 75% of any race, the males of any race. I don't think any other race. White men didn't vote for her that high. Neither did Latino men. Find a racial group. I mean, any of them, and the men that voted in a higher number than the black men. And he over here knocking us down by not mentioning that, by ignoring it, acting like that shit was just supposed. That's the problem. He's in that group that believe we supposed to vote for Kamala. That's what the fuck we supposed to do. Anybody who believe that we supposed to vote for them is fucked up in the head. And anybody who think that the Democrats are better than the Republicans is fucked up in the head. That's half the country that just voted for a man who we think is the devil, but we know him better than we know Kamala Harris. We know Donald Trump better than we know Kamala Harris. We know where he came from. He ain't lied. That motherfucker was a reality show host. He was a failed businessman in some people's eyes. He ain't never been homeless, but he got his name on buildings currently as we speak in this country with glitter and glam. And kind of like an outcast among billionaires, though. He ain't like one of them billionaires that all the other billionaires get around a table and look up to, because he's a little unorthodox. He's a little different, apparently, because he ain't in that circle for whatever reason. Is it because he don't want to be, or is it because they won't let him in? Fuck, who knows? It's some white man shit. And right now, rather than get in bed with them and try to improve himself by getting in their mix, getting in their way of thinking, this motherfucker done went the other direction, ran for president, and won twice. I mean, that's just like the kind of shit that some people would give up money to be able to go do what he's done, to become the president of the United States. He about to change the world like all presidents have the opportunity to do. And everybody's afraid because they think that a country that Kamala Harris and Tim Scott and all these other black people who are interwoven into our government keep telling us that this country is not fundamentally racist. And then you get this dude who busting into tears just at the mention of Donald Trump's name. So what's going on there? If the country really is racist and Kamala Harris is willing to turn the page, is that going to benefit black people? Is that what she thinks will benefit us? To ignore whatever it is that can be done to help us, to get us to a better place than where we are collectively? Or does she think it's best to turn the page and pretend it never happened? Or where we are is cool. As long as we just, shut the fuck up and just do from this point forward and quit going back beyond that old stuff. We don't want to bring none of that up. Because I really believe that this would be a really good time and a good administration. Since we like in the, you know how Congress goes out to say they don't hold votes when they're out of session, when they're back in their districts. They all go home for Thanksgiving and shit. Well, it seems that that's what we're dealing with here. And when we go back in session, which would be when the Democrats finally get back in, then we can get some shit done. But until they go back in session, which is now, we got Trump. Why don't we just use Trump for some bullshit that don't cost no money? Not a lot. But like, hey, man, can you go ahead and don't worry about paying us anything, but can you start the study? Can they get together on that? Can you start the study, get it done, so when we finally do get another president in, we can just give that to him? He'll probably say hell no or whatever. Ain't nobody gonna do no dumb shit like that. A study is so ridiculous. I just hate the thought of it, but I mean, it gives Trump something to do. Shit, he might go for it. He might let us get a study done. He know a lot of rappers and shit. Have one of them go talk to him. He seemed like he know the fucking celebrities who's a little more influential and a little more connected. Kamala didn't have nobody up there but a whole bunch of suspects from this P. Diddy shit going on. It's a whole lot of people who was prancing and dancing across her stages and endorsing her. And these endorsements might come back to haunt her. Because, I mean, I'm just thinking like, man, you taking on a lot when you put a superstar, a rich person, a billionaire, a millionaire in the United States of America on stage, because you're not vetting them. You're just going on based on the people that they attract. And if you know the things that they rap about and the things that they talk about and the mindset that they have that makes them so popular with their, I mean, as a presidential candidate, you should be trying to work on bills and things that tone that shit down, so it's not so provocative and exploitive for women. And with the way Megan is stuff, sure, on stage all that is safe and you're performing in the Beyonce costume, I get it. But they influencing some very young women to be in some very dangerous positions in their life, and all this is coming out of this P. Diddy thing right now, but it's something that's been going on in the dark world for a long time, and now it's going to start coming out, and we're going to have to deal with it. And I'm just saying, it's a pretty good chance Kamala was marching a lot of the defendants from future cases across her stage for endorsements, and it's going to come out, and y'all going to be like, damn, oh yeah. And we have to quit crying and whining about this shit. Trump is another president like the rest of them. And don't call him no more prejudiced than any of the ones before him. Joe Biden, The president who you guys voted for last time, not all y'all. I don't mean to be disrespectful when I say that. I know you didn't vote for his ass, but the ones who voted for Biden actually voted for Biden. Biden, thinking that Trump is more racist than Biden, because he took an ad out about them black guys in the Central Park 5 or whatever. I remember the New York case in the late 80s, 89 I think it was. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't care how many ads he took out. He could have shut the paper down for a day and put one page for each one of the suspects and not top Biden. Biden has locked up a generation of black men. Anybody who understand that, anybody who want to play like politics ain't right, that's the problem with it. These politicians who refuse to ever go away are racist. Just racist. And we need to just let them retire and go away and stop voting for them. Make them leave. They're not helping us. And this pundit or whatever he is, Van Jones, he's came along around the Obama time and he ain't went away. I wish he would have went away when Obama did and the rest of them. We don't need Van Jones. He can't even say thank you to I was not one of them. I didn't vote for Kamala Harris. But the black men who did vote for Kamala Harris are in the majority, a significant majority. Only 22 to 24, 25% maybe voted for Trump, or it slithered off. Maybe Jill Stein, maybe stayed home. I don't know. But 75% Kamala did get. That's a significant amount of black men voting for her. And if they really, really wanted more black votes, it's just, you got to think, you don't have to campaign as hard if you just don't lock so many of us up. Maybe they would be eligible to vote and be more help. But I'm not liking the way things are going for black men in this country right now. We got the black men who got good jobs and the black men who are in politics and moving up. And then we got a segment of the population that is black male. And they're the ones getting shitted on about not voting for Kamala Harris. And then had they voted for her and had she won, she didn't even have a plan for them. She had made no plan for him. And anybody who is watching this video and you open your mouth and say, she had a plan. You talking about that shit she did 3 weeks out? 3 weeks before the election, where everybody was eligible to participate in it. Nothing was exclusively for black people. And now I think we even got it in this country where to do something exclusive for anyone is illegal. But they do it all the time for other people. But if they ever do it for us, it's illegal, because we just don't want to be racist. We just want to be fair. You know, that bullshit. But yeah, we got the Van Joneses out there. We got a lot of problems out there, you guys, but the biggest problem is ourselves. We have to take that responsibility. I'm not going to sit here and say them dumbass stars and superstars and celebrities who got on stage and danced and lied and got you to vote in a way that makes absolutely no goddamn sense for voting for yourself. And I'm talking to all you black people out there. I'm talking to all you white people out there. I'm talking to all you Latin people out there. I'm talking to everybody in this country within earshot of this. And you guys know damn well Kamala Harris would have won and things would have gotten worse than what they're going to get under Trump. And that's a sad thing to say. I never would have said that last election. I never would have said that the election before that. However, I must say, Hillary was a very tough person to vote for. That was a tough one. Kamala was easier to vote for than Hillary, in my opinion, but neither one of them are worthy of African American vote. No Democrat is. I think Democrats should just have a race of people, us black people, walk away from them, and then see who comes and looks for it. Are they going to leave that 35 million votes just out there? Are the Republicans going to come and start talking to us? And are the Democrats going to come and try to win us back? And by giving us things that are tangible and that make sense and that can close that wealth gap, help our lives out, and quit listening to Van Jones. Black men ain't going to sit around and cry. Some of them won't complain at all. They will disengage and suffer through this life like most of us do. But to do the right thing, They need to get people like him off TV and get some real black men in there who gonna speak on some things that's gonna make sense, and then you won't see all the waterworks, and you won't have to keep buying electrical parts and shit because he done cried all over him and shorted some shit out. He needs to be removed. I wish he would have went with Obama. He should have left him, and wherever Obama is, he could have went with him because I think they're friends, you know, in some way or another. It just was way too much of that LGBT plus. Not that I'm a person who goes out of my way to bother people who have different sexual preferences than I do, but I don't like when they force their way into our lives either. I don't like that shit. I didn't like it when Obama did it, and I didn't like it because he prioritized that over some other things that he probably should have been taking care of, like abortion. You know what I'm saying? Like reparations. You know, those would have been two signature fucking marks that could have went down in history, but Obama wasn't concerned with that. That's not what he was interested in. What you gonna do? But Kamala lost. I'm glad she lost. Black men, hold your head up high. You did what you felt was the right thing to do, and she still lost. And now you're going to get to see that she lied to you because the country's not going nowhere. Project 2025 is an afterthought. You won't hear nobody. You didn't hear him say it in his speech on the way in, and you didn't hear her say it on her speech out. She didn't say, "Look, guys." She's talking about fighting for some bullshit. She didn't say, "Look, guys, Project 2025 is real. I know I lost the election, but you know what I'm saying? Dig a hole in your backyard and put a roof on it or some shit. Get ready." Because she knows she was lying. And I really hate that the most. And I was saying, God, I hope she doesn't win with a lie, because, you know, that'd just be the worst thing that could ever happen to me. And, you know, to be lied to, and then that would be horrible. I couldn't take it. I'd be on TV crying like him and shit. But anyway, folks, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you on the next one.